I have a challenge for you. Me and you should go out into the middle of the desert, and you don't bring any water, and I will bring a pallet of Budweiser. And I'm going to drink the Budweiser, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to live longer in the desert than you do, because you can actually rehydrate off of Budweiser. People say alcohol is a diuretic, and that is true. Pure alcohol is a diuretic, but this is the closest thing that we have to pure alcohol. This is Everclear. It's 95% alcohol, 5% water. On the other hand, this is 95% water and 5% alcohol. The question is the 11.6 ounces of water within this beer going to hydrate me more than the 0.6 ounces of alcohol within it dehydrate me? Obviously, we know if I take a sip of this is dehydrating. If I have a sip of water, that's hydrating. But if you mix them in the same beverage, what is that threshold at which something becomes dehydrating? Because obviously, if we were to take something, say, a non-alcoholic beer, which is 0.5% alcohol, so it's 99.5% water, well then, we know there's some alcohol in there, but is it dehydrating? No, you can absolutely drink non-alcoholic beer, which has just a little bit of alcohol, and rehydrate. The question is, could you actually rehydrate off of beer? And the answer is yes. Now, if you were to drink a bunch of these really quickly, right, then your blood alcohol concentration would spike, and as your BAC goes up, what's happening is you inhibit vasopressin, which is your antidiuretic hormone, which causes you to pee more. What you find, if you actually go look at the studies, and there's been about 5 really good studies on this over the last 80 years or so, starting with Dr. Eggleton in 1942. And what we've basically found is that you can rehydrate with beer, but it will not be as effective as water. And as your BAC gets up to a certain point, then you're going to be peeing out more, and that beer ceases to be helpful. That point is probably around 0.08, which also, coincidentally, is around the legal limit. So chances are that if I am in a state of mild dehydration, I could slowly drink 4 Budweisers over the course of 2 or 3 hours and actually end up more hydrated than I started. Now, if I was to go out and I was already in a state of good hydration and I were to chug 12 of these things all at once and spike my BAC over 0.1, then yes, it will probably create a net loss in hydration status. At the end of the day, what we are trying to point out with this product right here, Cheers Restore, which is our after alcohol aid, it's what we were on Shark Tank with. It's in over 25,000 brick and mortar retail locations. We sold over 35 million doses of this. 30 to 40% of our customers who try this go on and become repeat customers, and we're only getting more successful every year. So what we get at with this product right here is that dehydration is absolutely not the main reason that you feel bad the day after drinking alcohol. We would argue that it's probably only 10 to 20% of the reason that you feel bad after drinking alcohol. The fact of the matter is that dehydration leads to dehydration problems. GABA rebound leads to GABA rebound problems. I color-coded this for you to make it easy. And acetaldehyde leads to acetaldehyde problems. Dehydration cannot answer any of these questions. Why do some people turn red when they drink? Why does alcohol ruin your sleep? Why is alcohol bad for your liver? Why does drinking more alcohol the next day make you feel better even though you're getting more dehydrated? So many people think that the only reason you feel bad after drinking is dehydration, and they're just flat out wrong, because obviously alcohol's negative effects can't just be dehydration, or else why would it be bad for your brain? Why would it be bad for your liver? It's far more complex than that. This product right here gets at the 2 root causes, GABA rebound and acetaldehyde exposure. It reduces GABA rebound through a flavonoid called dihydramycin, which binds to the GABA receptor, which is the same receptor that alcohol binds to, and by doing so it'll actually buffer the rebound. And then it also reduces exposure to acetaldehyde. It's a toxic byproduct that alcohol converts into, which makes alcohol so bad for you long term, such as primarily being bad for your liver. It will actually reduce acetaldehyde by binding to it and forming a non-toxic compound called MTCA. And in fact, in some human studies where people had a stomach that naturally has higher levels of acetaldehyde, a dosage similar to what is found in Cheers of L-cysteine can lower acetaldehyde levels by as much as half. So we're talking pretty big effect sizes here. So if you're someone who drinks alcohol, is it bad to rehydrate? Absolutely not, right? But we just need to understand that dehydration leads to dehydration problems, GABA rebound leads to GABA rebound problems, and acetaldehyde leads to acetaldehyde problems. So if you were in a desert and you had no water, but somehow, miraculously, you had a case of Budweiser out there, then what you could do is drink it very slowly, don't spike your BAC, and you would actually gain hydration from it. So hopefully this helps clarify some of the things that you're thinking.